Hi, hope you're having a nice lunch. Boeing, the aircraft manufacturer, recently announced plans to set up a plant in South Carolina and create 1,000 new jobs. Whoopee! Yay! Great! Nope. National Labor Relations Board is trying to stop them from doing it. I'm not kidding you. Boeing, is mainly in the state of Washington, and the National Labor Relations Board is taking the position that locating these 1,000 new jobs, extra jobs, not transferred jobs, new jobs, in South Carolina, which is a right-to-work state, as opposed to Washington, which is not, is an unfair labor practice, and they're trying to ban it. Isn't that incredible? The right-to-work laws are laws that say that you do not have to join a union in order to get a job. It mandates the open shop as opposed to the closed shop. So the NLRB is taking the position that if a company is located in one state and chooses to open an operation in another state that has looser labor laws, that is an unfair labor practice. Initially, when I read about it, I assumed that what was happening was that Boeing would be transferring 1,000 jobs, closing a facility up in Washington and opening one in South Carolina. Even that would be fine. They're both in the United States, and it is not a federal policy to oppose right-to-work laws. Nobody's ever sanctioned that. Congress has never said that. They've never spoken about the subject. But it turns out that these are new jobs. These are they're not being moved. They're just simply a new factory that they're opening in South Carolina. Now, this is part of a broad-based offensive by the National Labor Relations Board, NLRB, that's going on under the radar to force unionization throughout the United States. One of the big things that they're doing is that they're trying to implement the card check method of approving a union unilaterally. What that is when they want to set up a union in your workplace, every worker gets a card, and you can vote yes or you can vote no on the union. You hand it back in. It's not a secret ballot. And if a majority of the workers check yes, then a secret ballot election is held on whether or not to have the union. Now, you'd assume that the union always wins because it takes a majority to have voted yes. But 2/3 of the time, the union loses because there's coercion in checking yes. Your foreman shows up at your house, or your coworkers, or you're getting your arm twisted on the job. So they set up the secret ballot procedure to protect people against that kind of coercion. Well, the AFL-CIO has been pushing legislation to ban the secret ballot, to make the card check alone be all you have to do to set up a union. And the Senate, even when Obama had 60 votes, opposed that. They killed it. So now the NLRB is trying to implement it unilaterally, literally banning the use of the secret ballot in union elections. We write about that in our book, Revolt. It's absolutely incredible. So that plus this Boeing decision just blows your mind. They are literally trying to force people to join unions as a precondition of getting their employment. It's outrageous. So have a nice lunch, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks.